Welcome everybody. It is your buddy, your pal, your big brother, crypto country boy or country boy, big country, whatever you want to call me. We are here today. We want to do a reaction to Adam Calhoun. Now we've already done a reaction to one of his videos, one of his rap videos. But like I told you in that video, he is a social media guy. He just put out a video today talking about why he is not wrong and how he feels. So let's get right into it. But first, let's make sure to have a nice opening. So hope you enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is your boy, All right. So let's get right up here into it. This is Adam Calhoun. He's going to tell you why he's not wrong. We're going to put our opinions into this, and let's see how it goes.
And there's certain shit that you can't say anymore, like, that's gay. Now, I grew up saying things like, that's gay, or stop acting like a fag. None of that had anything to do with anything homosexual related. It was just how we talked when we...
Yeah, I mean, even growing up in the South, back in the late '80s, early '90s, we would talk to each other like that. I mean, it was just, it was just words. It had nothing to do with sexual preference. But nowadays in this politically correct, town, it's everything. It's just crazy. Let's get back to it.
We were kids. We played baseball in the cul-de-sac. Sometimes we threw rocks at each other and they'd break somebody's window. We had BB gun wars. You're only allowed like 3 or 4 pumps, and we would shoot each other with BBs. This shit really happened. Ma, can I go outside and play with the...
What's funny about that is my older brother actually had he's talking about the ones that you can pump, but I remember being shot at by my older brother with one of the ones that came out where they had the CO2 cartridges in it. And you see the old movies, where they tell you to dance and they start shooting at the ground and everything. And for like 2 or 3 years, I still had BBs in my ankles. So, but that's kind of funny that he brought that up.
Big kids, don't come crying to me if you get hurt. We get all scabbed up, scarred up. We used to pick our scabs and eat them. Am I the only one?
I didn't do that. I did not do that.
When women had vaginas and men had the peens. We played a game when we were kids called Smear the Queer. It had nothing to do with...
Oh my God, Smear the Queer. So, funny story. The first time I ever broke my nose, I've broken my nose 8 times. But the first time I ever broke my nose was playing Smear the Queer. So I remember that day, even now. I remember that day.
A gay person. It had everything to do with, we were kids and the shit just rhymed. The basic idea of the game is you had some kind of a ball, usually a football. You threw it up.
It was always a football.
And then you'd run around until your friend tackled you and everyone piled up on top of you, and then you threw the ball up again, and that's just how the game went. Now, there was always these couple of kids in the neighborhood that had nice shit. Now, they'd show up with their nice basketball and we start playing. Well, when things didn't start going their way, what'd they do? They took their basketball and I'm going home.
I gotta go home.
The type of world that we live in now. I always worked in the trades, so I was always around guys my age and the old timers. And the old timers had dirty jokes, had racist jokes. We drew penises on the porta potties and we sat and there's so...
Another funny story. I mean, he's talking about trading the older guys and everything like that, but I remember, my grandmother, she was dirty minded. The first time I ever saw anything about sex or anything like that was in it was a dirty comic book, and I mean it had Mickey Mouse and Popeye and all that in it, but they was doing dirty things. So it's funny that he's talking about this.
So many penises. Who remembers building forts? Who remembers burying dead G.I. Joes? Who remembers the first time you kissed a girl? Who remembers calling that girl's house like with a phone, like not a cell phone, an actual phone? You're like 30.
You know, the phones he's talking about with the cords on it. You know, you got this big 20-foot cord so that you can be away from mom and dad, you know, and you could talk. You got this big cord. You could always tell where the kids were at because they was on the phone. And I know I did it, but even talking to my wife, I mean, you know, she would talk about how that they had this extra long cord on the phone. You know, kids nowadays they're like, what? It had to be plugged into the wall?
13-year-old, hi, is Becky there? And her dad's like, who's this? And she, oh shit. Can't we just go back to the 80s and 90s? The way this shit was way easier. Baseball bat. Used to hit baseballs or put it in your trunk to crack heads. Because sometimes you gotta take shit into your own hands.
Which, by the way, if you just so that you know, if you do carry a baseball bat in your car, make sure that you always have a baseball glove and everything with it. That way, if you ever have to use your baseball bat, you can always say you were going to softball practice. But anyway.
Not call mom or the police or, oh my God, you don't like the way I talk? Hold on, I got something for you. Oh no, you want to fight? Nah, you don't want to fight. You want to type online, right? You don't want to actually.
Isn't that true? Isn't that what we're dealing with? All these keyboard warriors that come out and they think that they're going to hide behind a screen. They really don't want to say anything because they know what's going to happen, you know. But the society we're in today, it's so much easier to hide behind a screen and type something like you're Billy Bob Badass or something. Back in the old days, if you had a disagreement, there wasn't no typing, no texting, anything like that. You showed up at their house, you fought in the backyard, and then after you got done, you played G.I. Joes or went out to eat or stuff like that. So,
no. Here's the whole thing of what I'm saying is, I will never change the way I speak. So it's going to be rough. When I'm like 70, if I make it that long, 80 years old, I'm going to be a motherfucker to deal with. I'm not going to change the way that I speak because it hurts your feelings or you're sensitive or the society around me is changing. I'm still going to be me. So I guess I'm fucking an old dinosaur. I am prehistoric. There are not many left like me. But is that true? I don't know. Donald Trump is the president. Someone had to elect him. We elected him because there are still many men out there like me and like you watch.
63 million people. So 63 million people
Watching this. They try to make it sound like there's this many of us when really it's this many of them with the purple hair and fucking dressed all. You know what they look like, the feminists and all the fucking, this is bullshit. The world is turning into bullshit. It's just the media pushing this shit and making you think that this is really what's happening. No, what's happening is this. American fucking, the president, this is, we run this shit. Fuck the news and all this other bullshit. I love this country. I love the way I grew up. I would just like the kids nowadays to get a chance to grow up like we did. Playing in the dirt. Playing football, tackle football. In the street, concrete, asphalt, playing kickball, dodgeball, smear the queer. It was just a word. That's another.
Dodgeball. Oh my gosh. I remember playing dodgeball. You know, nowadays you can't even play dodgeball in schools anymore because, you know, I saw this article a couple weeks ago that kid got hurt playing dodgeball. You know, I mean, it happens when you play a contact sport like that. But they turned it into a racist. Oh, he was targeted because he was black. Yeah, okay, bullshit. It's called dodgeball. Doesn't matter if you're black or white. Get the hell out the way.
Thing. These are just words. Words are fucking destroying you. The words are hurting you. You know what hurts? Getting punched in the face. But you wouldn't know about that. You know what I think? I think more people need to get punched in the face. It makes you feel alive. It makes you understand that there's repercussions on what you're talking about, what you say. My name's Adam Calhoun.
I don't mean to cut it off, but he's true. If you've never been punched in the face, if you've never been in a fight, you know, you don't know. You don't know how it feels. So.
And I'm just a regular ass dude. I'm not famous. I'm not anyone special. I'm just a dude that grew up in America and proud as fuck that I did. And I don't give a fuck if what I say offends you. That's not my problem. That's your problem.
You know, so that's where we're at. That's we need to get back to that aspect of it. You know, the question is are we so politically correct? Are we in that type of society that we can't say what we need to say? You know, we have a right to stand up. We have a right to protect ourselves. We have a right to protect our homes. Or are you going to sit behind a keyboard and yell at somebody all day long, you know, because they don't agree with you? So let me know down in the comments what you think. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate it. And until next time, peace.